that Donald Trump demands a full apology from the BBC, or he wants £1 billion on the day that a second small boat migrant who was removed from the United Kingdom under that farcical agreement with France, you know, one in, one out, is back. He's back. He's only been gone a few days and he's back, so that doesn't work. The thing that's really got you going this morning, though, is Rachel Reeves hinting she'll scrap the two-child benefit cap. We say a very good morning to political and economic commentator Jamie Jenkins. Jamie, how are you?
All good, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Nice background, son. Are you sat in your room there, or literally? Look at that. It's looking great, isn't it? Good man. Well done. Jamie, I don't want to complicate the two-child benefit cap, but basically, in this country, we have child benefit. You get an amount for the first child, an amount for the second child, and there's always been a cap because there is an argument that says, by all means, have a family. But if you can't really afford it, it shouldn't be down to the state for you to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 kids. Rachel Reeves came to power with Keir Starmer saying, we will not raise income tax and we will keep the child cap. That's the way it's going to be. Well, they reckon on November the 26th, not only is she increasing income tax on working people, but she's now going to say that she would scrap this. I just want to play you a couple of things. This is Reeves from last November, peeps. Have a listen.
Now wipe the slate clean under the mismanagement and the chaos of the previous government. It's now on us. We've put everything out into the open.
Okay.
We've set the spending envelope for the course of this Parliament. We don't need to come back for more. We've done that now. We've wiped the slate clean.
So you're saying, actually, there's not going to be an Oliver Twist moment. You're not going to come back and say, we want another tax rise. Or if you did, that would be a huge failure for your government, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to be able to write 5 years' worth of budgets on this show today, but what we have
I'm just
done,
saying,
there's
will
no
there
need.
be more tax rises?
No, you're right, Trevor. There is no need to come back with another budget like this. We never need to do that again. We've now, Trevor, set the spending envelope for the remainder of this Parliament. We don't need to increase taxes further.
Jamie, that was last November. This, though, my friend, was yesterday, Rachel Reeves.
I have been really clear that we are looking at both taxes and spending as part of this budget. The economic circumstances have deteriorated since a year ago because of those conflicts, because of those trade barriers. And as a result, we are having to look at taxes and spending, and it's got to be both of those things. And the speech I made last week was about setting the context for the budget, which is a difficult one. And I think people can see that and they understand why this is a difficult budget and why there are things that have happened in the last year that we couldn't have foreseen a year ago.
Jamie Jenkins, she says there the finances have deteriorated. I would suggest that's because of her inept stewardship of the nation's finances. What do you say?
Yeah, so we've only got to look at the facts of the matter on this one, Jeremy. So if we look at the OBR, so the kind of the budget watchdog, what they did is they do their forecasts in the spring and in the autumn. And before Labour came into power, they were forecasting between August 24, so about a month after Labour got in, and September 25, the latest figures that we've got, they forecast that the country would be borrowing around 102.6 billion. Still a large number, huge number. But we then have the facts of what actually happened. It was 194.4 billion. So pretty much you've got a 92 billion pound black hole created by Rachel Reeves. Now, OK, why have we borrowed so much more money? Well, we had the pay deals for the unions.
Yep.
Inflation's higher than some comparable countries across Europe. That's in part to do with some of the government's policies. The jobs tax is one of them, where they put the cost of employment on. So Rachel Reeves' own policies are having a direct effect on the borrowing figures, which is why they're coming back for more money. And then the figures that we've had up this morning, Jeremy, quite shocking numbers. So we've now had 170,000 job losses on the payroll since the election.
Yep.
We've seen about over 60,000 in the last 2 months alone. So it's getting worse. It's not improving, it's getting worse. And again, you can link that back to the jobs tax. So when you've got more people out of work, you've got less tax coming in. So then what she's looking to do is tax us more, basically people who are in work, because of the ineptitude of her government. And one final thing on it, Jeremy, which is quite interesting. If you look across the country, there's job losses across all of Britain. If you really zoom in, though, the biggest percentage loss is in Westminster. So maybe we could do with Starmer and Reeves be added to the payroll job losses as well.
I couldn't agree more. It is frightening because a lot of people will say, oh, you're being really unfair. And I wouldn't be... Look, listen, I failed maths O-level about 6 times. I'm used to this, right? But she doesn't come across as adapted at all. Ineptness is something that seems to follow around. When I see her being interviewed, she looks like she's caught in the headlights. She seems to backtrack on a daily basis. I think the only reason she survived is I think that probably the Prime Minister knows that she and his futures are inextricably linked. But I don't have any... And, you know, a lot of people say, well, she's the first woman Chancellor. Brilliant, really respect her. Margaret Thatcher was the first female Prime Minister, right? Look at Theresa May. She was appalling. I just think this woman is not good enough at her job. And Jamie, you know, we said earlier about, you know, what the doom and gloom. It is doom and gloom economically. It is hard for people, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you look at those job losses, the biggest group that's been hit hardest are the people under 35. You know, we've seen over 220,000 job losses since the election. They are the future. And those are the people who are losing jobs. And they talk about coming in with new policies to get younger people back into work. Well, the jobs tax and the significant national insurance rises for the younger people looks good on paper, but when you increase the cost of people who haven't generally got that much experience, those starter jobs, people aren't going to employ them. And ultimately, we've seen 88,000 jobs lost in retail now since the election, 74,000 jobs in hospitality. You know, these are those entry-level jobs that get people going. And if you haven't got that, what's the future for the young people? Now, young people tend to vote for socialism, but all they're getting is really unemployment instead. And I think to the point you said with Rachel Reeves, she's gone down this road. She can't backtrack and say I've made mistakes because she just loses the confidence of her party completely. But she's already lost the confidence of the country. So I think she's just got to go.
Couldn't agree more. Really good to have you on, Jamie. Thank you so much indeed for your patience as well, pal. 20 minutes.